We've got a lot to talk about with the arms and the legs, so let's start off with the arm. It looks deceptively simple, however, there are a lot of moving parts, and for a perfect grade, you will get, here there is a peg, you will get full 360 degree rotation. You will get a 90 degree bend here at the elbow, and then it's a little stiff, but you can pull off almost a 180 degree bend. Now when I rotate the arm around here to the back, when you notice that I bend the elbow, you will see that some pistons become revealed. And if you look down here as well, there's more hosing detail that needs to be painted up. Now, there are panels all around this Gundam, and on the arms there's no exception, and this is a really cool gimmick that they've introduced with perfect grades. And what you do is you can take the front slabs here to the shoulders, and those move out like so. And that will reveal inner detail underneath. As well, up here, there is a hatch where you can view even more detail. And this is a little bit fragile of a part because it is a pig going into a polycap, so you can only raise it so far. But you'll see some vent detail. There's a vent piece here that fits over that. Unlike the chest vents, that will actually stay in place. I have never had a problem with that before. Down here, this black part, I'm not sure really what to call it. This will come off and reveal more detail as you look at the, I guess you can call that the shoulder. And one thing that I think really makes this perfect grade special is the independent moving digits in the hand. So you see I have it in a fist here. All of these came on a plate, and I'm not sure what they call it, and I don't know what the technology is and how they did that. I think I read it and it's called sonic welding or something. I've never seen it before. In my education as an engineer, they'll come off the tree and they're already posable. You don't have to assemble all the miniature parts. So you could fan the fingers out and they're all anatomically correct. And this is absolutely incredible. So you can take the first bend here. You want to be careful because sometimes these can come out. So you just want to make sure you don't damage them any further. Twist them, you can bend, well, you can't twist them, but you can bend them and you could do all kinds of rude gestures with them. This is absolutely incredible, and when you look at the wrist, it's actually on a pivot. If I remember correctly, it is, well, the wrist is on a ball joint. Okay, yeah, it's on two pistons. That came out, and I did not expect that to come out. Plug that back in. This will go up and down, I call that 45 degrees both ways. Of course, you'll get full 360 degree rotation, because it is on a ball cap. And here's how the inner frame to the arm looks. You'll get the same exact mobility as you would with the armor on. You'll get a 90 degree bend here, a little bit more effort. You can almost pull a 180 degree bend at that joint. Same dexterity in the hands here. All of this really nice detail I'm going to have to go in there and paint. Looking pretty good. I like it. There's not much to talk about here with the lower waist section. You're going to get some detail on the front skirts here, and they do both move independently, which is an excellent feat for any grade of kit from the early 2000s. You can open these up, and there's not much inner frame on this guy to speak of, but there is some inner frame down here on the side skirts as well as the front skirts and the back skirt. And you'll see some nice piping detail here, as well as some hoses and other frame detail underneath the front skirts. You'll see some vents in the front skirts, which are really nice, and that is actually part of the inner frame, and that will be painted. These side skirts will facilitate your ability, I think there's an ability to put the beam rifle in one of these, as well as the bazooka ammo magazine. So those side skirts will move up and down. Not too much, get a little bit. Up here you have, this is actually part of the upper waist, and this is the connection point for the upper body. And the back, well, you're just going to get a brick of a part here, as the back skirt doesn't move, and I guess it doesn't need to. But there's also this part here that will slide back, and this will be for the bazooka storage. And I couldn't find a spot, either in the instruction manual or on the beam rifle itself. So the beam rifle doesn't go back here like on some other kits. But, hey, that bazooka's big and it needs to go somewhere, and I believe the storage for that is right here. Now, if you thought the chest, the head, and the weapons were the crux of this entire model kit, you will be sorely mistaken, as these legs are absolutely complex, absolutely amazing. You'll actually find out that this plays to both the positives and the negatives of the kit, and we'll go over that later. So let's get started. You'll find that this decades-old kit, in terms of articulation, is very comparable to today's master grades. So if we look here at the very top at the thigh, you will get a very nice bend. This will bend backwards. There's some linkages. This will pull back 90 degrees, and if you keep pulling back, you'll get more pistons back there, and you'll get the full 180. Epion style. Oh yeah. So that will come back. And the main problem with this kit, and we're going to get to this, is that the legs will feel a little loose. And you can get him in a pose and he will stay there, but it still feels too wobbly for what it is. So this will come back, and you're not going to get any side-to-side movement with the thigh there. The knee will pull back automatically because that is on a part that is connected to the inner linkage. So you will get that bend. And here's the problem. So if I hold this independently and fix it here, and I bend the leg back this way, it's so heavy and the joint's so loose that he's not going to hold that very long, and soon it'll just collapse. And I'm sure people have seen this on other kits, and that's a major downside to this kit. But you'll also realize down here, and this is a massive foot, this is on a ball joint, and I can't remember if it's on a peg on one side or the other, or if it's a double ball joint, but actually, you know what, this probably has to be a double ball joint for this. You're going to get some ankle movement to the left and the right here. You can probably, I'd say you can yaw that at about 30 degrees, so that's kind of nice. It has two pistons in there as well, and the leg can move forward and backwards, and when that does, you can notice the piston action down here, it'll go up and down, and that is absolutely fantastic. And something new they tried with this perfect grade, I'm not sure if they did this with the newer perfect grades, is that this one has a shock system, and there's a part in there that's part of the main ankle, and you have to place a spring in a column. So when he actually is jumping and landing, there is a shock and suspension system, and I thought that was really cool. But it's something that probably won't be shown off all too often. Now, another downside for this kit, and we're going to, again, talk about this, is that the ankle armor, you're going to get absolutely no mobility out of it whatsoever, and I'm thinking it could have benefited from some mobility, but it still looks cool. So let's look at this leg without the armor. Now, I really didn't mean to cut this video so short. Unfortunately, real life got in the way, but in the next video, we will look over the inner frame to the leg as well as the rest of the parts. See you then.